So Bruce, we start with you because that's where this kind of starts. For people not familiar with the Evil Dead universe, welcome us in, and how do you describe that?
It's a dangerous world. Mm-hmm. Not many people get out alive. It started oddly 37 years ago in a small cabin. Myself, Sam Raimi, and our partner Rob Tappert, we raised money in Michigan and made a movie, a low-budget horror movie in rural Tennessee, and it was sort of very over-the-top monster movie, no holds barred, guts, gore, because we thought if we're going to make one of these horror movies as our first entree into the film business, we can't get lost in the shuffle. So Sam Raimi created this crazy monster tale with a very average hero, Ash, who comes through it all. Mm-hmm. And then we made a movie about every 10 years. We made the sequel in the 80s, we made another one in the 90s, and then that bombed. So thanks for reminding me of that.
You brought it up.
No, and so, but what happened is because of everybody loves to see how the sausage is made now, all the movies have been re-released on DVD multiple times, and it was sort of brought back to life through all of the DVD with all the extras, the missing scenes, all the interviews behind the scenes. And it brought the Evil Dead movies back to life, I think, in people's consciousness. And at the conventions, I've never stopped hearing, well, like, when's the next one? When's the next one? We're like, there's never going to be another one. You don't get it. But it became prevalent enough, and Rob Tappert had just finished doing Spartacus with stars, and I had done Burn Notice on TV. We pitched Sam Raimi the idea of, what about converting it to a TV show? Where fans can actually get way more information if it's a TV show. They can have way more stories, way more ridiculousness. And so we put together this crazy ensemble here, where now Ash has sort of partners in crime through his own fault. He recruited them through his own horrible mistakes. So it's a very flawed hero. Lee this year plays Ash's father, which is, of course, a very poor relationship. And we kind of go from there. And it's up to us to save the world.
Well, it seemed like perfect casting when I saw you guys, and seeing you guys together. Was this like an idea you had before this kind of came up?
Oh no, but when Ash's dad came up as a subject, I'm like, well, there's only one guy in that list, and we have to get this guy. So we had to kind of, you got to talk guys like this into this. He doesn't really have to do any of this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lee,
why did you do this?
Right, exactly.
Well, I got contacted and they asked me if I'd be interested. And I wasn't that familiar with the series because I'm just not a horror watching guy. Mm-hmm. All my shows, most of all, have been family oriented, sit down action stuff. So when I sat down, I watched the first show of last season, and then I suddenly couldn't put it down. I streamed through the entire 10 shows of last season, and I just was hooked. I said, look, this is such a fun ride. It's batshit crazy. I got to do it.
I don't know if we can say that, but I
did.
That. Yeah.
Well, it's Austin. You have bats. You can say bats.
And they go poo-poo.
We're known for our bats and their shit. So
Yeah.
I guess we're fine on that.
I think we're good to
We
go.
just cleared it with the sense.
No, we're good to go.
It was all in humor, people.
We're good to go.
No, that's good. But this is the
But
kind
these are the
of,
people that are going to watch the show are better get used to just that little bit.
right, because you're about to
This
be,
is a very over-the-top TV show. By the way, I would warn viewers to some degree. This is not really a rated TV show. There isn't really a rating.
Oh.
With stars, there is no content restriction whatsoever. So in episode 2, there would be a sequence that I would say would need to be unrated because I've never done anything like it in my entire life.
Yeah, the keywords there are corpse,
Colon, possessed.
and ding
Sounds
dong.
like a colonoscopy
Oh, well,
to me.
that's, yeah,
Is that too much? Yeah.
that's
right.
enough.
No, that's good.
Now you wouldn't see that on
And we can't
cable.
say that.
You wouldn't.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see that on basic cable.
Right. That was something to see, I got to say.
But
It was
Joe,
It's something you can't
it
unsee.
was a powerful scene. Yeah.
let me just say one thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't even watch horror films. I don't think I've seen Walking Dead. I don't think I've been to any horror pictures in the last 20, 30 years. But when I watch the show, there is a lot of horror, there is a lot of blood and gore, but it is so funny. It is so over the top funny that it dismisses what's happening. It is just, this man is so
It's
great.
not very realistic.
This kid is so
is really
good.
what he's saying.
Right.
I mean, when we're bleeding, we're bleeding.
It's, yeah, there's
When
so much.
you lose a limb, duck,
Right.
because it's coming.
I do want to talk to you guys about
First scene, how many of you in the very first scene? There was
26 gallons on my face.
blood.
Of blood,
Yeah,
sorry,
blood.
26 gallons of blood blasted at my face from like a rocket ship. It was a whole, it looked awesome though. It really looked awesome. They made me stand on a towel the rest of the day because you can't go like, you just, that trails you
Well, you
forever.
stick to everything.
You stick to everything and like, oh, let me check my phone, and then it's over. It's over for you.
Is this something you can ever prepare for?
No, and every time it's different. I feel like, Ray and I are going through this for the first time in this world. It's season 1, and I think every time we have a scene where we have to get covered in some blood or viscera, it's a new apparatus. Like one time it was a cannon, which you got for that first scene as well. You probably got the same amount on you, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's like Halloween every day, and Halloween's one of my favorite holidays. So I get to go to work and get covered in blood and, be part of this cult classic comedic horror, genre that Sam created and be part of the future and have these amazing leaders that are icons. And so to follow them and to go to work with them every day is an honor. So yeah, I'll get covered in blood any day to be on this show.
Now they're veterans now, end of season 2. I think we've thrown pretty much, it's going to be hard
Yeah.
to top season 2.
We're still not in the Hall of Fame, though. I asked Rob Tapert, I said, so now that we've had, gallons upon gallons, I was in a tank full of blood.
How do you
and
not qualify for the Hall of Fame?
I don't know. Rob Tapert said, no, you have the top 3 positions,
Oh,
because
that's
number 1
just-
is 400 gallons.
Well,
Yeah,
once
on
we
it.
go 5 seasons, Hall of Fame.
We'll add up the numbers.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Cumulative.
Exactly.
I'm already impressed you kind of know some of
Oh,
the
it's-
gallonage.
I want to know. I ask, because when you walk on and you see everything covered in plastic on set, the camera guy is inside a plastic
Well, this would
tent.
all be plastic.
Like,
Here.
yeah, everything.
It would
No,
be.
legitimately.
You guys don't want any drops on any of your crap. And then we go, oh, well, what are you expecting to
Right.
happen? They're
Right.
expecting a lot is what they're expecting. So we make the effects guys go around the corner now. And they have an outline of a human. And they take the nozzle and they have a number 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. And some of them are spread. This is an art. Carnage is an art form. Carnage and mayhem. It's really a lot of work. And so you can do a real direct hit if you want. That's a tighter nozzle. You can open it up more like a shotgun. So that we all decide we would go, okay, that's fine. And then we sort of know what's coming. And then I think when we're not looking, they change the nozzle.
Yeah.
They always
I think they
yeah.
do. It's always harder than what you practice.
Yeah, why would you go soft?
Right.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the director always forgets to yell cut, so the blood just keeps coming for like exceptionally long lengths of time.
Well, I went blind once.
Yeah.
I gagged
choked,
once.
yeah.
Yeah, I choked, and
Yeah.
I couldn't see, so I had to go.
It
Okay,
gets in your eyes and
hang on.
Yeah.
Scoop the puddles out of my eyes, and I could continue. And but there's no long-term damage to that
We don't
in
know.
any way.
know of.
Ingesting that horrible toxic brew, no problems
And this
whatsoever.
was Lee's first time having that happen,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah, I lost my eyesight.
No, but Lee, back in your day when you got shot, no one even showed blood.
Big
You went
Valley,
like this.
Big Valley in the 60s. And they would come up and say, oh, that's too much blood. Come on, get even. Too much blood. No, too much blood.
I want to talk about the Bruce Campbell School of Acting for this.
Is there a school? Can
Well, there
you,
should be.
I hope it's
Yeah.
free.
It's very specific, which I love, and you can deliver lines that work out of your mouth that I can't imagine out of other people's mouths.
Agree.
Is this just a thing that you had, or is it something you developed?
Having been in a lot of B movies, you say a lot of really crappy dialogue. I mean, really crappy dialogue.
Yeah.
And my theory is if you can learn to make that crappy dialogue work, then once you get good dialogue, you're Shakespeare. I think that's it. I'm trained on crappy dialogue.
Wow.
And that's how you succeed with good dialogue. Because then you really appreciate it too. You know, we've all had good dialogue at various points, and dialogue also that we're not that impressed with. And in our case, we'll go, okay, maybe we'll say something different. We are participants in the process. I would just say
But
that.
I think he's selling himself short, because I agree with you. No one can deliver a one-liner like Bruce Campbell. And what I love so much about this season is when you have someone playing Ash's dad, well, that means double the amount of quotable one-liners, because Ash had to get it from somewhere.
Yeah, Lee gets them too.
So
That's
the two
what's
of them
awesome.
together,
about it.
I mean, it's...
And then you realize that Ash stole them from his dad, which is even more depressing. When I saw that in the script, I was like, oh my God, Ash is a poser too on top of it. It's like, wow, because you thought it was original.
Do you guys all have a favorite line that you've gotten to say over
Yes.
this?
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
I think my favorite line this season going to the school of Bruce Campbell acting, I tried to come up with my own one-liners that weren't written, because Pablo doesn't really talk that much. He just gets tortured all the time.
Yeah.
So I got this is one of my one-liners that I try to throw in there, and it's just him trying to always say like, I can do this, but
Got
we always
this.
witness that he can't, because he's not Ash. He's just his loyal sidekick trying to be Ash.
He does good. He does. But it's also, but like a lot of Ray's lines that were just improvised, just like Bruce, made it to the final screen. So a lot of those are him on the fly.
I think we all bring
Yeah, we all-
our stuff to the table, but you quickly learn. Like I know, like a lot of it is like listening and reactions, because no one can deliver the one-liner like Bruce Campbell himself. So, I think you'll see a lot of crazy reactions. That's why I've got 3 mustaches on my face to keep people laughing.
I was like doing the math.
2,
Yeah. Now I do.
But then there are times when we're all like in sync, and the scene is maybe supposed to be like 30 seconds. And then the 3 of us will just keep playing
Compete.
Topper. All of a sudden, it's a 5-minute scene, and we're still going. But we have great chemistry, and it's fun. It's fun on those days when you get to play.
Do you have a favorite line?
I do, but I cannot say it on television.
Say it. We've already
I'm
broken.
only on Stars. No, really, I can't. I really don't think I can.
Well,
say
they can beep it. It's
Yeah,
taped.
yeah,
I know
we'll
what you're
cut it out.
Just say Zephyr. Just say
Just-
it.
But that's like the line.
Isn't
I
it-
say something in season 2 that is, I will blank all your blank with bullets, and that is probably my new favorite.
So you can
line.
fill in the blanks
That's it, Matt.
in your own mind.
Dirty words. Yeah. Bruce, do you have a favorite line?
Ash is my favorite character I've ever played now. It's sort of official. You always dodge around it when you make movies, and you're always, in all of the articles, best known as this character. I'm going to wring the life out of Ash now. I really am, because someone asked, aren't you getting tired of playing the character? I'm like, with this show, it's just started. He's starting to have acting like a father figure and a leader, and we're all going to evolve into various things, and you meet his family, as screwed up as it is. We never knew any of that stuff before. Ash was like a teacher. You never saw him after school. So now we get to sort of see more of a 3D version of him, loser that he is. But he's still going to save the world, even though it's his fault in the first place.
And it is a cool world. It's nice that you have episodes to build a world as opposed to a movie where it's...
Well, if the movie comes out and, Sam Raimi doesn't make cheap movies anymore, is there going to be a $100 million Evil Dead movie? It seems to defeat the purpose. And if that died, the thing would be dead. So Starz has been a great partner for us. They've really been, they want to be also known as one of these great television producers where you get high quality stuff from them. And we shoot in New Zealand, and we always have to give praise to the crew. The technical folks behind the show are. No one can make fun of our cheesy special effects anymore, and that makes me very happy, because
Yeah, they look awesome.
used to be part of the charm of the Evil Dead movies of like, hey, you can see the green garden hose spitting out the thing. Not anymore, pal. So it does help the show be more effective. The creatures, we hope, are actually startling and scary. We never fool around with the horror. That has to be real, and then the cheesy one-liners come out of it.
Yeah, it's a weird balance
Heck
that you
yeah.
strike
It's the
between
weirdest.
actually scary and
Yeah.
funny, but it works.
But we're cheesy car salesmen. As long as we believe what we're saying, I think the audience will too.
Well, good. How are we on time? I haven't.
Oh, way over. They're going to butcher this stuff.
Yeah, we're down to 5 minutes.
What time is it?
10:17.
Oh, we're great. I was starting to wrap up because I got afraid. Let's say some more swears and stuff.
No, here's the truth of it. Because we can swear every line of dialogue if we really wanted to, we've had to learn who swears.
Right.
So she has the foulest mouth. We've sort of determined.
Not
that.
on camera, just
No,
in
on
life?
camera.
Oh.
Well, both kind of, but she.
It's a pouty mouth.
But she,
Potty mouth.
so that Kelly is, crap's going to come out of her mouth. We've tried to, I'm trying to use some older fashioned stuff, or say horse pucky, stuff like that.
Dip.
Yeah, that one, I'm done with that one. But so we're experimenting a little bit. And Pablo, you've thrown up some F-bombs, but it was only in shock and horror, usually.
I usually say, I always say holy shit a lot, because I'm always scared of what's happening.
Right.
But yeah, I just want to say that I think what's cool about the show and being on the show is that, we've taken something that's been around for a really long time, and now we've opened it up to a whole other generation. People my age, people that are Latino, that are Italian, like Dana, and we're taking it and we're introducing it to the next generation. And I'm so happy that we get to be a part of the future of the franchise.
And
that it's
the
in
fans have
people's
accepted
homes.
them too.
Yeah,
Right.
which is cool.
Which,
Which is
look,
great.
you don't really know. You don't know whether we're going to click ultimately until you get on the set and you dump blood in someone's face.
Right.
But the audience has totally accepted it, and they've accepted an expanded universe. Like, we have to introduce other characters. We have to take the story in these sometimes oddball directions. But hopefully if they like the general ilk of the movies, then just go for the ride. Come for the carnage, stay for the humor. Whatever works for you.
Yeah, or come for the humor, stay for the blood and
Exactly.
bullets. That was gross.
Dude, let me tell you, that I'm venturing that's not quite John Waters territory, but we were riding a fine line there.
Yeah.
I will say to your viewers, episode 2 of season 2 has potentially the most outrageous actions committed to digital cinema in history. That's my challenge to them.
Yeah.
Because you can't believe that you just watched it, but you're going to rewind it and you're going to watch it again and go, right, I can't believe I just watched that.
Like, yeah.
I mean, shit
You're
happens.
I want to talk about your characters, especially if people are only familiar with the movies.
Sure.
They need to get to know you guys. I have this problem where I want to be like your character in real life, but I think I'm more like your character in real life. Do you have a connection to your character, or is that something you leave there?
No, I do have a connection to my character. I think the thing that connects me to Pablo the most is that as an actor and Latino actor, I want to be sort of a hero and leave my mark on the world and leave sort of a legacy. And I think that Pablo wants to do the same thing. I think people underestimate him because of the way that he looks and where he comes from, being an illegal immigrant. And being Asher's loyal sidekick, he's got a sort of opportunity to be the hero that he never thought he could be. And we get to see him go on that journey and go from being this naive guy that nobody thinks could save the world to possibly being more than a sidekick. And it's just really cool that, I get to sort of be, a superhero.
Yeah. And your character is kind of like me. Well, we already went over she's got a terrible language problem, but she's tough, right?
She's got a short fuse.
Yeah, she's got a short fuse.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, I love that they had the foresight, if they're bringing Ash back now, after all these years, to have a strong female character who can call him out on his BS. And his views on the world are a little skewed, like on women, and I like the fact that Kelly just, they bust each other's chops, and she goes toe to toe with him, but then also is so fiercely loyal to him after, he saved her from her mother, and
After I caused your family to be killed.
yeah, really. And
So I appreciate you kind of looking past that.
yeah, exactly. I mean, Kelly didn't really have a choice. She got dragged into this because of being friends with Pablo, and all of a sudden her mother's back from the dead, puts a fork in her father's eye. Kelly's possessed, and then she's being regurgitated by a cabin. It's
Don't you
like-
hate when a fork gets right in the
I
eye?
mean-
Oh, God.
So
It's gonna
yeah,
ruin your whole afternoon.
Yeah, that guy's not getting a tip.
No, because he already got it.
Right, that's right. You mentioned the women thing. You guys are fun because you're so smooth with the women in this show. From what I've seen, I've only seen your first
Look,
two.
part of why this guy was mandatory in being on the show was that Lee's whole persona is that. He's a long-time married man, this guy right here. But you know what? This guy was a player. Just go Google the images. This guy had the man cleavage, the whole. He was back. Lee and I were both from a generation when actors had hair on their bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. But so that when you get Lee involved,
Yeah.
there is going to be a thing where he has a natural confidence with the ladies, and that's where Ash had to get that from somewhere.
Right. Do you have any comments on man?
Oh, no, you probably want to hear my favorite line.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Well, you know, they didn't really give me many lines, so I don't really have one, but I did promise,
That seemed like a dig at the
I was tell you, my funniest scene, though, was trying to pick up Lucy Lawless in a saloon with no avail, and no success at all. She paid me $20 just to mention her name, so Lucy,
You earned the 20 today. Do you remember the man cleavage days and what was that?
oh
like?
yeah, well, you're the 70s, you're a $6 million man with the wide-collared shirts, you know, the jackets they make you
Oh, it
wear,
is
and the
Showtime,
bell-bottom pants,
Yeah.
running through the forest with your bell-bottom swinging and catching on every little twig and branch and falling on your ass.
He has a great point. Try and run in bell
Try and
bottom.
run in bell-bottom pants through the woods.
Another
You'll fall right on your
bucket
face.
list item.
Yeah, try it, and then try it through the woods.
I'm
Yep.
game. Let's go back in time and shoot in the 70s and have me run through the forest in bell bottoms.
Bell
Can't
bottom
wait to
off.
see your man cleavage, Ray.
Now, Buck Williams is not going to go back to the 70s and show up in bell-bottom.
Wait a minute.
I know you guys do
We
time
warp
warp
time
stuff.
travel.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Hey,
Yeah.
dust
That
off
would
those
be too
bell
much.
bottoms
No.
and the chest hair.
Also, too, I just want to
Oh,
say.
sure, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, there's no excuse for people to not watch the show because we now have this amazing app. It's the Stars app. You can download it for less than $10.
These are con men.
And,
Well, yeah, they can't use the "I don't have cable" line
Yeah,
anymore.
right.
Exactly.
That's and then they go, "Well, I can't afford the $8.95 a month." And you go, "Well, how about this clever person? Log on, get your free 30-day trial. You can watch our entire season in a weekend,
Binge
Yeah.
it.
and then go." I lost that app. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Two can play that game. They're trying to help you find this show.
Right.
And we want to let you know how ridiculously easy it is now. You get it, watch on your little phone right there.
It's a free app.
Free app.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, you binge it.
But it's kind of like crack. You know, the first one's for free.
What's that now?
Our show's kind of like crack. You
Okay.
know, they give you the first one for free.
I don't think we can air any of this interview now that I think about it. We can't show a clip. We can't use the words. Give me the PG version of the show.
The 5-minute version.
Yeah. How do you sell this to
You
children?
want to clap again?
This show? This show is not appropriate for all ages. I will say that for sure.
Although we've been hearing that it's like bringing all these families together. I love that this show is so good about giving the lifelong loyal fans what they want and what they've been clamoring for all these years to bring it back. But I've met so many fans that are like, grandmas that are watching with their grandsons in high school, and they're like, I never saw the movies, but I love this show. And is that Bruce Campbell handsome? They just, the ladies, the
Well,
grandmas.
there's a lot of parental
even.
irresponsibility going on because I'll see some kid who's 10 going, "Yeah, Ash vs. Evil Dead is my favorite show." I met a kid here over the weekend. I'm like, "Dude, what are you doing watching that show?" Then I look up at the parents and you go, "Oh, you're an old Evil Dead fan." And they didn't care because their parents made them sit down and watch Evil Dead when they were 10. And there's a woman who came up. She was traumatized. She was, to this day, she goes, "My parents put me in front of Evil Dead." And the scene with the thing with the vines and the woman, she goes, "I can't get those images out of my head." So parents, a little discretion goes a long way. Wait till they're 11 or 12.
Let's, final topic, we have 3 minutes. We talked about bell bottoms getting caught on branches. Have there been any stunt problems on set where maybe you slipped on some blood or some other liquids or something?
Well, there's a lot of general discomfort. I blew a partial hamstring the last couple of weeks of shooting. Ray was hogtied most of the season. You always have a rib crap.
I always do crack my rib. Don't know why, but I
Oh, look, I
fall every
didn't hear
day.
that hard. It's just a quick little.
I haven't
That's
been
the
this
Bruce Campbell
scared.
School of Acting. You
Right?
get it right. Mr. Regis is here. You get the line right.
You don't know your own strength. I'm gonna be bruised. I'm a
Bruce
very
Campbell.
Bruised
Bruce
Campbell.
Campbell.
Bruce Campbell.
Halloween
You
costume
just got your
idea.
end. You
That's
just got
what
your
I
end.
did, yeah.
And you can check
I
your
get
sync at the
assaulted
very
by
end of
Bruce.
it.
Oh yeah, we can sync the camera. It's full circle. Let's final words. Anybody?
Tell those guys outside to shut up.
Yeah. When did that start up? I wasn't even
Jackhammer.
listening.